YouTube? It's me again, MK the Truth, DODBENT. And today, kind of want to piggyback off of my video that I did on a pair of sneakers. And of course, what's been happening I know what's going on in China. So what's going on in China? Now, I'm not going to use this moment as a moment to kind of boost myself, because that's not really what I do. I think people get confused what I do on this channel with trying to just cut out everything on the retail side of things. That's not my goal. That's not what I do. So basically, you all know what's happening with China. China is supposedly exposing high fashion sneakers, Nike sneakers, Lululemon, and things like that. But my main thing with you guys, well, not you guys necessarily, just people as a whole, all of these reports I'm seeing, all of the outrage, all of this surprise or what have you, what the fuck are you surprised about? Let me put it like this, right? You know what business is, right? Business is of course, it's something that you create, right? So within that business, you're going to want to make, or you have to make, your goal is to be profitable, right? So in any type of business, say this microphone, for instance, probably costs maybe $3 to make. I say maybe $2, but they're going to sell it for like 40, 50. There's no way around that unless you're smart, like me. Anything in business is going to be marked up. But I think my problem with what China is trying to expose now with luxury items is that these things are marked up so high that it's ridiculous. And that's one of the things I've been trying to teach people on this channel with everything that I do. What do I tell you? What have I been telling you guys for the last 4 to 5 to 6, 7 years? Everything is marked up. We are being sold cheap, crap, trash goods. Now, I'm talking about Nike sneakers and things like that. Now, when you come to the luxury side, you ask me, are they higher in quality? Yes, they are. But what do I always say in my video? Not by much. If you take yourself to a fabric store or something like that, you buy a piece of a garment. Understand how much that piece of a garment costs. A strip of leather, say about this big, right? That might be enough to panel a pair of shoes. You can get that for like $10, maybe cheaper, independent upon the quality of the leather. Now, like I said, high quality sneakers are in fact in higher quality, but it's not by much. Now, let me speak on the high quality stuff that China is trying to expose. Now, I've been hearing some people say, well, the sneakers that I get, like my Louis Vuittons or my Pradas and things like that, it doesn't say made in China on the inside. Once again, what have I been telling you guys for years? Listen to me. For the people that say I don't see that made in China, why would you think Italians want to have that, say that on the inside of the shoe? Nobody will buy it then. And also they will start going to the source. Like I've been telling you guys for years, if the materials are sourced in Italy, hear what I'm saying. If the materials are sourced in Italy, it can say made in Italy. Even though in fact those materials were shipped to China and made in China, it can still say made in Italy, because in fact the materials were maybe dyed, or the process to tan the leather and things like that was probably done in Italy. And that's true, it was made in Italy, but it should say made in China as well. Do you guys think it should say made in Italy and China? I don't know. But to those people that keep saying that is like some of the stupidest I've heard. Understand this to those people. Italy has been outsourcing to China for the last, I believe, 30, 35 years or something like that. Yes, they outsourced to China. Those Balenciaga knit shoes and all that shit is made in China. But if the materials have come from Italy, it could say made in Italy. Now, do I think now, I think I have seen some things where some factories were, I guess, trying to get people to buy directly from them. Understand this, people. Within this realm of stuff, there are tiers. There's a lower tier, there's a mid tier, and there's that exact quality tier. And that's what I'm all here for. If I can get something made exact, there's no point in me going. That's just cutting out the middleman. I'm not telling everybody to do that. I'm just using my brain. In everything in life, you have to use your brain. You have to know how to maneuver through the BS. That's just what I do. You can hate me, you can love me. But nobody's going to tell me what I see and tell me what to do. What I see is exactly like I've been telling y'all for years. What I have been seeing is exactly like what I get a lot of the times. Like I'll say 95% of the time, that shit is, why bother with retail? And I'm not telling anybody to do that. Y'all know I still do retail. I do both sides. I just want a good product. I just want the artistry. I want the art form of it. That's it. I care nothing about the prestige or the luxury value or how people look at me for having that luxury value. I give no fucks about any of that. I am me. I get all of this stuff for me. I want to look good. I want to feel good. Period. It has nothing to do. I don't care if you can see something that might be off or something that might not, probably shouldn't be on that shoe and it's supposed to be a certain way on a retail pair of shoes. I don't care if you do see that. I don't care. Majority of it looks phenomenal. That's all that matters to me. I just want the artistry of it. But this whole thing in a nutshell, with them exposing, what are you guys surprised about? If you have your own eyes, like I said in my last video, you got your eyes, your feel, your touch, your smell. What are you surprised about? All I do on this channel is to get you guys to look, and you can see for yourself. I ain't forcing you to do nothing. You can go look at it for yourself. I don't understand what the outrage. You can clearly look at something and then look at something else in one of these stores, Louis, Gucci, or Balenciaga, and you can see that shit is 100% the same. Well, not always 100%. But let me speak on that as well. 100%, 100%. Even retail to retail is not even exact most of the time. Do it yourself. I've done all this homework for years. That is why I do what I do. And I have been, in fact, like a lot of people before, where I was like, oh, I ain't messing with that shit. I ain't gonna mess with that. Nah. Until I got one. I was like, oh, shit. Wow. This is crazy. Hey, give me another one. I want to check another one out. Got another one. Oh, shit. Whoa. This can't be. What have I been doing all these years? Not that I've been paying resale, but I'm just talking about just, buying stuff. Hey, let me get one more. Nah, it can't be like this. After that, I was all in. So, like I said, people, I'm not trying to get you to do what I do. Me, MK, as a person, nobody on this earth is ever going to tell me how to dress. Nobody's going to ever tell me what to wear. Nobody's going to ever tell me what to buy. I know how to analyze. I have a very good analysis perspective on things. I don't need anybody for anything, especially when it comes to this stuff. Too much of this stuff that I see is just too close. And when it's like that, it's no point in me paying that ridiculous amount of money for something like that. Let me speak on this right quick. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, I will never buy that crap. So you okay with high fashion brands ripping you off for 800-900% markup? This is how my brain thinks. I see somebody ripping me off at retail, and just like anything, I'm gonna find another way. Just like my car, right? I got tired of taking my car when I was young. I was in my 20s. I was like 20. Got tired of going to the oil place. Got tired of paying for it. It was a lot of money. I learned how to do it myself. My dad taught me. So I started doing it. That's just like this stuff. I see $1,200 and I will want some high fashion stuff because I love good quality materials. And some of that stuff, a lot of that shit be coming from over there. It be in fact made with calf leathers and things like that. You can't tell me nothing. I know about materials. But what I'm saying is, you see these brands ripping you off. How don't your brain go, hey, look, man, I'm gonna go see what this is about, because it looks just like it. And then when you get it, you be like, damn. I've literally gotten stuff and gone right to Louis and be like, damn, it's really the same shit. But again, high fashion brands, it's all a status thing. That's it. Now it is higher in quality. You pay for meticulous stitching and nice boxes. You get all these little goodies and nice quality material goodies and dust bags and all this kind of crap in there. Yeah, all of that is included within the price to give you the feeling. And I don't mind that. But make that shit somewhat reasonable. Why can't they be like $400-$500? Why they gotta be $1,400 and $1,500? This is how I knew when I was younger that high fashion brands was really ripping you off, right? I tell people this all the time. I've told you guys this on this channel. When you go to Neiman, right, or any of the high fashion stores, Nordstrom or whatever, think about this. When you go to that sale rack, don't feel bad because you're going to a sale rack. They're just trying to get their last pennies. When you go to that sale rack and you see that shoe that was once $1,500 marked down to $175, that should tell you a lot. How were you able to slash almost 800% off of that shoe? Because that's not what it was worth anyway. That $175 that they're charging you, or they still getting paid, because that shoe was still $20 to make, and they still profitable. That's when I knew. I was like, damn. I could never understand it. I was like, damn. How these go from $1,500 to $200? How? They're willing to take that? Another interesting point. I have friends that work with LVMH, right? And they have these, I believe these things that towards the end of the year, woman bought a fur coat that was going for 25 grand. You know how much she paid for that coat? $800. How do you mark a coat down from 25 grand to $800? Once again, this whole debacle with them exposing stuff, I don't care. I've been here. I've been here. Ain't nothing you can tell me. I can see for myself. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing. And that is very well what people need. People are sheep. They need to be taught and led. They put that leash on y'all. Hey, this is what it is. This is what it is. You can't do that to me. I duck and dodge that leash. You can't get that leash on me because I know what I see. I've been here too long. I've seen the ups, the downs, the nonsense, the BS, the having to take shoes back for this, for that. Inconsistent sizings, heights, shapes, different colors. Oh yeah, I'm talking about retail. I've taken shoes back to stores just for these very things. And once I understood all of this stuff, I say all this shit is garbage. We've just been fed garbage. Nothing is consistent. Well, I think luxury shoes might, and that's what comes within the price point. They pay meticulous attention to crafting and detail. That should not warrant a shoe being $1,500. Somewhere along the line, maybe they got greedy. Maybe it was made in Italy at one point, and then they just started forking over stuff to China. I don't know. And I also think in some recent videos they were telling, I think Louis to show their factories and things. Do I care about that? Yeah. If your stuff is in fact made in Italy, show us your factory. I mean, even if you got Chinese people over there, and that's the thing I don't understand about people when you say something is made in China. Chinese people are masters at this shit. I would much rather them be making my stuff than anybody else. Because they've been doing it for so goddamn long and they're so good at it. Why wouldn't you want them to make your stuff? Those peoples have those peoples. The people have years of experience, bro. Listen to what I'm saying. Like that is the baffling part to me when people say, "Oh, those made in China." Them peoples are masters at that craft at this point. Why is it so funny when people hear, "Oh, that shit was made in China"? I would much rather have them making this shit than anybody else in the world because they are masters at this craft. And I'm not saying that to take up for none of this stuff. I'm not taking up for them. I'm not saying go buy none of that shit. It's just logical. This is all logic. They haven't been doing this shit for so long. So many people been outsourcing to them. They have so many people making this stuff. They can get it done faster with very good quality. Why in the hell wouldn't you accept something made from them? Boy, I tell you, man, my brain worked different, man. My brain worked different. I'm talking about clothes, shoes, the whole nine. They make everything. And I always said this one thing to everybody. If China shuts down, the world shuts down. Get in the comment section down below and let me know what y'all think about this whole thing. Again, I could care less. I've been through this. You can't tell me nothing different. I use my own analysis, my own brain. I don't use anybody. Nobody can tell me anything. And that is the very problem with everybody out here. Somebody has to tell you what to think and where something came from instead of you doing your analysis on your own. This is MK the Truth, DODBENT. I love y'all. I'm up off this video.